shout out to Belal Muhammad for getting a W past that old ass man age. My man's going to Turkey soon, boys. Very interesting that Belal Muhammad actually outstruck Leon Edwards. But also, my man here, he going to Turkey too. They're both gonna be bald just like me. That was something I saw in the fight. I'm like, why is Leon doing that? If this was one championship, he would have been disqualified. Leon Edwards would have kept the belt. Like I said before, at the edge of the... He's here. Goes a body kick. He has three options. And Belal Muhammad, this is where he landed that uppercut on him. He also did the jab, and he also did the left and right hand on him. So this, he would smother the void, get in here, and then Leon Edwards would move out. And there's Belal Muhammad winning the opportunity after 3 years to run it back against Leon Edwards in order to retain the title. What's going on, boys? Welcome back to the channel for our void breakdown of Leon Edwards taking on Belal Muhammad. And here is the stats. Belal Muhammad, 36 years of age. You know, there's a funny meme going around the world saying that people over 35 years old don't do very well in a championship fight. Myself, I won my belt at 35 or 36, and then I defended it at like 37 or whatnot. So shout out to Belal Muhammad for getting a W past that old ass man age, 35 years old. So he's already older. So we're not going to see, you know, a 10 fight win streak, or I mean a 10 fight consecutive title defense from Belal Muhammad, but who knows? We'll see. But Taylor stats, 32, 36, 6'2", 5'11". There is the, you know, huge discrepancy there. 170, 170, 169, and then 74 to 72. So 2-inch reach. The biggest thing about this fight going into it is that I thought Belal Muhammad wouldn't be able to get past the range and get into the void and smother Leon Edwards, but that's basically what he did to win the fight. So obviously the producer, Michael Wandover, did an amazing job to put these pictures together for me. Here we are. Here's a size difference. I thought, I mean, when they got close together before the fight, I was like, damn, he is a lot bigger than Belal Muhammad. You know, when you're 5'3", 6'2", 5'9", it's like a big difference. Obviously, we had prize picks going, and with the prize picks, I went with Molly with less 32.5 significant strikes. That's what she landed. We went 75 and 71.5, and then Bobby Green less 77.5 significant strikes, and then Tom Aspinall less fight time 5.5 minutes, and then Leon Edwards, like I said before, he is a quality striker, not a quantity guy. We went less with 82.5 significant strikes, and that cashes out the mighty team $1,500. So boys, make sure you get into the game. Go to your app store, download Prize Picks, and when you do that, use my promo code mighty. They'll match up to $100 of your deposit next time the big fights are around UFC 305. And when you do that, use my promo code mighty to match up $100, and make sure you guys stay tuned for the next round as I drop my mighty pick. So right here we go. Beautiful job from Leon Edwards. Obviously, Belal Muhammad is outside that lead leg, stepping outside there. Good jab. You know, obviously, Leon Edwards has the better, cleaner striking, you know, pop, pop down the pipe. But it wasn't enough to get the job done against Belal Muhammad, because Belal Muhammad stayed at this range the whole entire time. He was inside the void, and he would walk across the distance and just grab Leon Edwards. But here's a beautiful job from Leon Edwards. It looks like it lands on Belal Muhammad, but you see Belal Muhammad's getting outside that lead leg because Leon Edwards is a southpaw. But he did it, you know, he impressed me the most in this fight because he just went there and out-wrestled him. Literally out-wrestled him. And here it is right here. Look at this positioning. Good penetration step. This is the worst thing for someone who's trying to defend a takedown. It's a good thing or a bad thing, but there's nowhere Leon can run. He's already got his arms locked. There's nothing Leon can do. Now, Leon did a good job of getting the face in front of him. That's what you want to do, instead of letting Belal Muhammad get his head on the side of him, which he started doing it later in the fight. But Belal Muhammad did a good job of walking him down the void, getting his back against the cage, doing a double leg takedown where Leon Edwards had no room to run. He basically ran into the back of the cage. His back ran in the back of the cage, and then it gave Belal Muhammad the opportunity to get that takedown and ensue in a grappling, where that's where I felt like the fight was won. Right here. And here is another, I mean, look at the sheer will of him picking him up. Now, there's nothing, the biggest thing he wants to do, So when somebody picks you up, you want to get this thigh in between there, between his crotch. Bring his head in front of you, right? And Leon needs to posture up. You go here, you bop. It's a very athletic movement that you do, because right now, Leon Edwards' posture is going down, so he's easier to throw down, especially if he doesn't have that leg. This leg here goes between the crotch. It pushes him there. It disturbs his base, and then you're able to, you know, not get taken down like he did. But, oh, my man's going to Turkey soon, boys. But that was one of the things key things that he kept on doing every single round of the fight. He would get his back against the cage, shoot in double leg, lock up his hands, pick him up, and then slam him. And then this was the sort of thing, right? Very interesting that Belal Muhammad actually outstruck Leon Edwards. As I said before, Leon Edwards is a sniper. A sniper needs time to set up his shot. If he doesn't have time to set up his shot, or if the wind is off, meaning that when I'm throwing the wind in there, I'm saying that Belal Muhammad's doing something that's unorthodox, it's very, very hard for him to get a shot off. But also, my man here, he going to Turkey too. They're both going to be bald just like me. They're just hanging on to it. They don't want to accept the inevitability that these both men are going to be bald. But back on track, boys. Sorry about that. Beautiful jab from Belal Muhammad. And I bet you'll be looking at his feet. He's on the outside of the lead leg. As you can see, he hits him. Beautiful shot from the photographer. And you see Leon Edwards wear it on his lip. And, I mean, and you look at his technique, too. He's got his hand up. It's not by his temple, but it's okay. Straight jab. Good job. And he's on the outside of the lead leg, trying to get behind the shoulder. Okay, now this was a position that I felt he didn't have an answer for. Belal Muhammad would get in this same position multiple times before he would shoot a takedown. Look how close he is to Belal Muhammad, and he hasn't even thrown a strike yet, right? He's there. He's about to throw a strike, but look at the position that Leon Edwards takes. He's going to go lateral. He's going to run out this side. And Belal Muhammad, this is where he landed that uppercut on him. He also did the jab, and he also did the left and right hand on him. So this, he would smother the void, get in here, and then Leon Edwards would move out. What I would like to see, what I would have liked to see Leon do was meet him here, clinch him. You saw him do it once in the fight. He hit him with the knee, but if he would have fought him here instead of running out and getting those hits on him, I think he would have a little more success in that fight. But this was something that was very unique and different that I'd never seen from Leon Edwards, that Belal would just walk across the void, grab his hands. Once he grabbed his hands, he would run away in the lateral. And then we're going to show a little bit piece of this real quick. Here we go. He runs out, and here comes that uppercut right now. Whack, uppercut, lands. And look how close he still is. And now you see, look where his hands are at. His head is almost getting outside of the takedown and then getting here. And this is one thing that Belal would do. He will walk here, show. They'll start exchanging, and then boom, he'll shoot for that takedown and be able to land it every single time. And this was also another key thing too. That there, wrapping the hands up. He'll wrap the hands up, lift up. Leon Edwards' butt will get in the way, and that will give him the lift he needed to be able to secure the takedown and be able to lift Leon Edwards up and land him on his back. There it is right there. Beautiful. And there's nothing Leon Edwards can do. Literally nothing. Each time he grasped his hands together, it was pretty much a guaranteed takedown for Belal Muhammad. Look at this. His elbows across his face. Hand is here. Belal is in the void. He's got a perfect body shot there. This is not like... this right here is... I question... This is what made me felt like he was not comfortable with him being in this distance right here. That was something I saw in the fight. I'm like, why is Leon doing that? And he can have his fucking picnic of whatever he wants here. There's no way. He cannot counter this whatsoever. And his hands are up here. So if he shoots, look at all this space. He has all this, and this is unprotected from the shot. Okay. Now, I think this is the first time he got on his back. I'm not sure. But Leon Edwards is doing a good job of fighting the leg. This right here is also keeping him down. And Belal Muhammad did a good job of being super high with the seatbelt. This is a seatbelt for the guys out here who don't know. A seatbelt is like a car. It goes across your chest, underneath your armpit right here, and locks in. But This is a jiu-jitsu seatbelt. It's a very good position for him to hang on. He can cross face. And when he's doing this, Leon Edwards was lucky that he didn't lock up the cross face and do a choke to try to break his jaw. Pretty much the same thing I did to Rodtang. Even though I wasn't under the chin, I wanted to compress his jaw, which will force him to either pull up or he'll break his jaw. Sometimes you gotta go to a dark place. But this was the story of the fight. He lived on here. He was basically a backpack the whole damn time. Right here. This thing is a lot of people's kryptonite. It's myself. The body triangle. Very hard to beat. Granted, the body triangle, this leg is supposed to be behind this leg and kick that leg out. But I've been seeing this a lot lately. It goes here. So how do you get out of the body triangle? Let me tell you. So first off, there's multiple battles going on here. A lot of the people in the crowd don't understand this. But let me give you a little educational, rundown. Okay, here's the battles that Leon Edwards has to fight. One, he's fighting the hands. One wrong move, he gets choked out. That's why he's fighting his hands. Two, he's also fighting this lock. Three, he's also fighting the foot. So Leon Edwards needs to kick this foot up, take this foot behind, kick that foot up, then bring his knee onto this side. Then the body triangle is going to be on that side. Then he needs to kick his leg on the other side and get that leg straight. Once he gets that leg straight, he has to get his back to the ground. Once he's back to the ground, that's going to give Belal Muhammad the opportunity to either come on top or mount, or it's either going to give Belal Muhammad a side choke or side control, or it's also going to give Belal Muhammad another opportunity to change his position. So there's so many fights that's going here. That's why it's such a hard move to, one, get out of. And if you can get it on somebody, it's very, very effective. And this is where Belal Muhammad lived. And even when Belal, I believe Leon Edwards got to this position too in the fight, where he was able to hold Belal Muhammad's back. But this right here, and Belal Muhammad has this post where he can scoot his way this way, or, scoot towards Leon Edwards. So very difficult position to get out of. I hate fucking body triangles. And when he's here, he's stuck on the back too. Now, you heard the broadcasting saying, oh, he's going to go for an armbar. Yes, he could have gone to armbar, because when they're on the ground, he basically puts his back to the back, his back to the mat, and he switches up and pushes it down and takes the armbar in this arm. But it's a very risky move. But he didn't do that. But this is a very shitty position to be in. When I was talking to Henry Cejudo, if Aljamain Sterling got to his back and body triangle him, he would have said, I lost the round. Now, here's some of Belal Muhammad striking. This is where Leon Edwards, I thought he had a lot of trouble. When Belal Muhammad came in this distance, I felt like he didn't have an answer for him. And this is Belal Muhammad outstriking the sniper. Over the top. Okay, now, this is when Belal Muhammad switched up the takedown. Okay, now, this is basically, he uses the chode to pick him up. This is a defense you use when somebody tries to Kimura you. Even though Leon Edwards didn't Kimura him, he would switch up the takedown, because he would go for the shot, take him down, try to take him down. Leon Edwards will move, then he'll switch the underhook underneath the crotch, and this is a easy takedown. You're basically lifting something up with this part right here, right? Lifts him up, and look, Leon Edwards isn't cross-facing him. Getting a hand over here. And then as he picks him up, spikes him on his head. Right? His hand's here. He's trying to catch it. Hand's going down. Spikes him on his head. And we don't know if this concussed Leon Edwards, but it felt like each time he went back to the corner, his corner was chaotic, trying to get him motivated, instead of like, hey, Leon, like, you're allowing... One of the guys said, hey, you're allowing him to come into the void in the distance for free. We call it keeping him honest. You ain't just about to walk me fucking down and not take a penalty for it. And he allowed Belal Muhammad to do it. And Belal Muhammad did a good job of switching his takedown to this takedown to slam him and spike him on his head. Once again, we don't know if that concussed him. I try to find a UFC 304 Leon Edwards press conference, post-fight conference. There's something right here. Here is that spike on the head, right? I said it in the instant reaction. If this was one championship, he would have been disqualified. Leon Edwards would have kept the belt. It happened to Jared Brooks versus what's the guy? Joshua Pascal. He spiked him on his head. And then Jared Brooks got disqualified and Joshua Pascal became the champion. So he got concussed on his head, and who knows if this concussed him and if he was ever the same after that drop on his head. Right here, his striking. This is Leon Edwards trying to get some going off. You know, his striking wasn't the best there, but, you know, look. Great shot from Leon Edwards. And see, boom. I said this earlier in the fight. Leon Edwards gets a body triangle on him. Now, once again, this leg needs to be behind this leg. That is the traditional way, but I've been seeing a lot of these body triangles stay like this. Once again, now Belal Muhammad has to fight, and it makes Leon Edwards stuck here where you can't really do a lot of damage. That's why I've never been a fan of the body triangle. Not for that reason. And two, I have small ass legs, so I can't really body triangle anybody. So he's here once again. He's fighting the hands, defending the neck. He's fighting the hips. He's got to fight this grip. But Belal Muhammad did a good job. Once he got here, it was basically like he won the round, essentially. Because there's only so much you can do behind here. You can't really generate a lot of power to knock somebody out. You can't really do any elbows here. It's very hard to generate power from the back. Now, once again, both these guys are throwing body kick. Free body kick because, like I said before, at the edge of the void, he's here. Throws a body kick. He has three options. One, he eats it. He tries to block it, but that gets in him. That's a liver shot. He eats it, or he's got to block it, X-block it. It looks like he was trying to, but was fast enough. Or he's got to be out, right? If he tries to hit him, he could, but if he hits him, he has to eat that shot, so it's a free shot. So that was a beautiful thing that Leon Edwards did. He did have some good moments in the fight, but they just weren't big enough for him to come away with the belt and defend his title. Another high kick, traditional high kick. But look at this. He had his hands up. Perfect block. That's an X block right here, ladies and gentlemen. For people out there who know what X block is, that's an X block. You bring this arm up. You bring this arm across. You typically don't want to hit it with your hand because you could break your hand that way. But his palm hits it. Beautiful block by Belal Muhammad. And Belal Muhammad did it this way. He didn't do it this super close. Typically what a lot of people do is they block, the hands are right here. When that happens, your head and your neck still take the full brunt of the force of the kick. But since he's away from it, he has this little gap between themselves. So his body, the arms take the brunt of the force of the shot. So good technique from Belal Muhammad. I think it's the first time we ever broke down something actually doing a perfect X block. So shout out to Belal Muhammad for doing that correct. Good job, Belal. And look at the technique there. Perfect athleticism from Leon Edwards. Okay, and here's a jab from Belal Muhammad. He's in that void, you know, out striking him, and here's him trying to do a counter hook, but straight punches beat hook punches all the time. Now, this was the thing that we talked about. You know, if you go back to when Leon Edwards fought Kamaru Usman the second time, Kamaru Usman was piecing him up, and then you have this gentleman right here. Come on, Leon, get yourself out of, pull your head out of your ass, trying to get him up. And I said this before, that if Leon Edwards is on a stool, doubting himself, not like in tune. Like if you guys watch me go back to my stool, I'm like, okay, boys, talk to me. What's going on? What do you got? What do you see? I felt this. We're communicating with each other. We're having a conversation. To where here, this isn't the case. The case here is this gentleman is trying to amp Leon Edwards up. And here's the look of defeat on Leon Edwards, because it felt like he didn't have an answer for Belal Muhammad's pressure and wrestling game. And, you know, at the end of the fight, Leon Edwards says, hey, it's fucking tired. It's fucking early. So, I mean, there's only so much you can do, right? And once again, this was the 5th round. He knew what his gameplay was. He got him down. And look, all the weight's right here on top of him. All the weight is bearing on Leon Edwards' hands. He's got that seatbelt like we talked about at the beginning of the fight. This would won him the fight right here. This constant pressure, the void crossing, the triangle body B triangle, and then just never stop. He just never literally stopped. He did it for 5 rounds straight. 5 rounds. And right here, this is the very end of the fight where Leon Edwards was able to get on top and land some probably the hardest hitting shots of the fight. But it wasn't enough to get the fight done. He gets on top, lands a beautiful elbow on the face of Belal, and then Belal turtles, and then he's got the hooks in, and then was trying to look for a choke, but it was just a little bit too late. But that was probably the most significant strike of the fight, which was these elbows that were landed by Leon Edwards at the very end. And then just a very, I mean, all this blood came from like the last 20 seconds of the fight. Literally the last 20 seconds of the fight. But by then, I think we all knew Belal Muhammad won the fight from his grappling and just outstriking him. And here we go right here, boys. Look at this. So significant strikes. I told you before, I went less with Leon Edwards. I think it was like 82.5 strikes. He is a sniper. He's not a quantity striker. He looks and picks his shots. He needs time to pick his shots. 68, 47 to 68. So Belal Muhammad out threw him and outlanded him. Total strikes 281, landed 192, 114, 89. So he was way more accurate. 2 takedowns. He attempted 13 takedowns and landed 9. Total control 12 minutes and 7 and into 7-11. I mean, right there, that tells you what happened in the fight. 9 takedown attempts, 13 takedown attempts, and landed 9. 2 reversals. And those reversals and the takedowns is when he got that 7 minutes. Just more output from Belal. That's what it comes down to. Way more output. And there's Belal Muhammad winning the opportunity after 3 years to run it back against Leon Edwards in order to retain the title of lightweight. Now, a lot of people, this is the problem for me when it comes to mixed martial arts in today's age. Like, I was talking to a guy at the gym and I said, dude, how many Belal Muhammad, I mean, it's not even that, but I just feel that Shavkat is the next opportunity. I said Ian Gary's probably the next person you should fight for the belt. The reason why I said that is because Ian Gary is a guy who just fought in the welterweight division that is fresh in my mind, right? I couldn't tell you the last time Shavkat has fought. I think the last time he fought was probably Geoff Neal. I'm not sure. It doesn't just ring a bell. Then again, I don't watch every single fight, but I think everybody's calling for this fight. I think it should be a great fight, and we'll see what happens here. But already a size difference, and we'll see who's going to be able to out-grapple who. So, if you guys enjoy this Void breakdown, please leave a like, subscribe. But also, hit the bell to go live, and we will see you at the next video. What's going on, guys? I'll give you a big heads up. Mighty merch is dropping right now. Season 1 has just dropped. All you got to do is go to the description below. It is shopmighty.com. We have delivered and we listened to the community. You guys have been begging, Mighty, please give us a Void shirt, and we have delivered the Void shirt. And we also got Mighty cap, and we also have the clean dingaling just plain Mighty shirt, and we have some Mighty sweatshirts and the Void sweatshirt as well. So if you guys want to step up your swag game of season 1 of the Mighty merch that's being dropped, go to shopmighty.com or check the link in the description below to get your brand new Mighty merch season 1.